Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And happy Monday to everyone, the 28th. It is 8:28, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I am going to call it, guys. I'm going to declare auctions dead on arrival. And it's been a long time coming. I think auctions have been on ICU. Been waiting for the cure, and it's just eBay tried to give it a little dose of promoted listings advanced. And guys, I just think that auctions are only useful for a few different purposes, which is why I put 99% of the time it's not useful. That 1% where you can't find the value for a particular item, you know it has value, there's no comps out there, and you're willing to say, I'm into it for $5. I'll put $99.99 start price and see where it ends up. That's kind of the only time I see auctions really being useful. Now, there are going to be some people out there that say, you know what, I make money on auctions all the time. Well, I got to tell you, if you are making money on auctions with your items, you're probably losing money because you're better off using a fixed price listing at a higher rate that's closer to what market supports. So again, that's knowing what the item's valued at. Now, if you're selling it way less than that on auction at a low starting price or whatever, you're doing a couple things. You're delaying the actual time the item's going to be purchased, like the 5 days, 7 days. You can utilize the buy it now option, but most people don't seek out auctions anymore. It's not the same type of buyer that is online anymore. Used to be that was kind of the thing. Someone would say, wow, found a couple good deals on this. Let me save these, right? Let me watch these later for later. And let me come back and try to snipe and get these at a much cheaper price than I could find them normally. But people don't really have that kind of patience now. You can blame that on Amazon, where Amazon has pretty much change the market. It's one of those things where I want it now, and I can get it in a few days. And people aren't willing to wait the 5 to 7 days just to see if I can get it, and then have to wait another 5 to 7 days just to get it in the mail. So to me, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that auctions is an absolute waste of time. I ran 3 items that I ran from Sunday to Sunday, ended this Sunday. And I pretty much said, okay, I'm into them for really cheap anyway. The market on these are upwards of $70 to $100 on some of these items. And I'm going to just put it at like $30, $40 plus shipping. I'm going to undercut the market as my opening bid. I think my buy it now was like $10 more. And I'm going to see if I can move things quickly that's just sitting for whatever reason. Of course, recent sold comps. Hard to say why some of these things didn't sell, but they just didn't. And so I'm back to square one, putting these as fixed price listings, and I'm just going to put them at a decent price. And, people, when they're willing to buy it, they'll grab it, and they don't have to wait for an auction to be over with. So that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to talk to you about. If you're utilizing auctions, even if you're making sales, you're probably losing money. It makes really, to me, no sense why you would do that. In many cases, when you're doing auctions, eBay's charging you a 25-cent insertion fee, and it's not covered with your the listings that eBay gives you for free, your fixed price listings. Now, there are times where eBay will give you auctions for free based on the category you're selling in. But for the most part, I just don't see the benefit of having an auction anymore in 2023. Just the world that we live in is so much different. So my 5-minute diatribe, you guys should be proud of me, but put down in the comments or the chat or the comments if you're watching this after the fact, your thoughts on auctions. And if you use auctions, do you bother with auctions? Have you had success with auctions?
And just to make it clear, he's talking about eBay auctions.
Yeah.
Not Whatnot, not anything
Nothing like
else.
that. Nothing like that. I don't have enough first-hand experience to really, other than what I've seen other people have success or lack of success on Whatnot but I'm talking specifically about eBay auctions and your experience with utilizing auctions. If you do still use auctions, I'm curious as to why and why you're not utilizing just the fixed price listing and optimizing your listing, this, that, and the other thing. So again, DOA auctions as of 3 p.m. 6/28/2023. So we have Brian H. Hello, John and Jen and everyone. Thanks for being here, Brian. PTS Treasures says, hey, everyone. Thanks for being here, PTS Treasures. Mike Camparelli says, who, John and Jenna? Hello, all. Hope sales have been good for everyone. I slowed up a bit, but still steady and doing better than I have in the past, up 30%. That's really good, Mike, 30%. And being that a lot of these gains that you've been talking about have been recently in the summer, that speaks volumes. That's pretty good. You gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, everybody points out when John, reads something wrong. So now he has to make sure he focuses some attention on the typos.
Yeah. Sandra says, hello, everyone. Sales have continued to be good. I'm loving the AI description option. Yeah, and again, the AI description option really isn't AI. It's almost like saying, the ad lib books that we many of us had as kids, dating myself, I guess. But it says it wants you to put a verb here, a noun there, adjective here, and then it basically inserts all those words into a pre-made story. And that's kind of what this is with AI. eBay's taking whatever you have in your item description and jumbling it all together and kind of fluffing it up to make an item description. And my only problem with that is it can really make your item seem better than what it actually is. And you got to be careful. You could be setting yourself up for some INADs if the buyer's disappointed when they get it. I'd rather under promise and over deliver, if that makes sense. So a lot of times, I just got a feedback from one of our pair of shoes. We sold a pre-owned pair of shoes and they got it, and we didn't hype up the shoe or anything. They got it, and they said it's looked almost brand new.
Which ones are
these are the ones on your account, or was it this one here? Right here. It says, thanks so much.
Oh.
Shoes are so nice and are like brand new. Great seller. Will shop again. Thank you again. So it's that.
I am floored because those shoes, they were in decent condition.
That's the ones right there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But they've been sitting for a little while, and they were one of the first go-rounds to be put up from that big lot of shoes.
These are these women's slip-on sock sneakers, size 6.5.
They're a no-name.
Black and turquoise.
No-name brand.
No-name. It's like a sock where you put your foot into the shoe, but it's like you're putting your foot into a sock. So, it's like you do the best you can to represent what you're selling, of course, but all we put was, this is a pre-owned pair of shoes in very good condition. Okay. These may have some light scuffing and, signs of use. They get it. It's better than what we described. And guess what, guys? That leads to them being pleased, surprised, positive feedback, willing to do business with you again. So that shoe did not have any, this is a pre-owned pair of shoes in very good condition. Soles are very good, and these are free of rips and tears, blah, blah, blah. That's it. We didn't fluff it up with any item specific. So just be very careful with how to utilize it, because again, I would rather under promise and over deliver than over promise and then they get something that isn't quite what you intended to list, but AI decided to really put lipstick on the pig. Not saying that you have bad stuff, but just saying that it does come off to be a really, really fluffy with those item descriptions from AI. Archie says, hey, Mike, PTS, Sandra, and Brian. And then, of course, he's going to mention us after the fact. Hey, John and Jenna and the rest of FAE family. Thank you for being here. Daniel Lesage from Baton Rouge says, hi, guys. This weekend, I went from 3 sales in 2 weeks to 3 sales in 1 weekend, preceded by 1. Hope all is well and good for all. Well, it seems like your sales are kind of up and down. I can only tell you how we've been doing, it's been fairly good. We've had a solid 5 days prior to today, and then today has been kind of like kind of blah. Of course, we got
You're looking at my account, aren't you?
No, that's my account.
Oh.
Those shoes were on my account. I sold those shoes.
Weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. I still have a lot of things on our main account that I want to move over, and I will. One thing I was considering, I was trying to toy with the idea. Sales have actually kind of starting to strengthen on the other account or secondary account for whatever reason. I think maybe because you're listing some stuff more and more activity, consistent activity on the account. But I'm thinking, a lot of the stuff that we have on that account, Jenna was saying, we need to just throw into a yard sale kind of thing. So these items already are kind of expendable. We're talking cost of goods, $1, $2, right? Well, what about the idea of maybe bumping up the price a little bit on some of these items? We already have a markdown sale. We already have a coupon, 10% each, right? And then just really hitting it hard. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off at me for saying this, but maybe just as an experiment, hit it hard with like 40% promoted. Now I realize the money that eBay grabs from you is off of the item price, the shipping, and the tax. So you got to be kind of careful.
You didn't say that when you proposed this idea to me.
I thought you already knew that.
No, am I supposed to read your mind?
I told you 40% promoted.
You didn't say promoted. You said 40% off.
No, promoted.
Well,
I said promoted. In fact, I know I said promoted because as I was walking by telling you that, I said, but I do realize that fee comes off of the shipping and the tax. So I have to be very careful because, if we have a $10 pair of shoes that we don't care about, we bought for $2 and we're charging $12 shipping. Well, I'm paying 40% of 22, which is like $10. So it's like a free item. I'm actually losing. You got to be very, very careful how you structure that. But I'm wondering if in doing so, eBay will promote these enough, push these high enough in the algorithm and the search that I'll get a lot of hits. So that's why I was saying maybe bump the price of the shoes up to absorb some of that placement. So want to know what you guys think about that. It's just maybe
I don't know
something I do for it's just something I do to see what happens kind of thing. You know what? If I sell 10 items at a total break even, then I don't lose anything theoretically, except I gain the experience to know, well, that kind of worked or it didn't work, if that makes sense. Talking like 550 items in that store. So let's see. Devon says hello. I don't know. I think there's one right there. So Devon says hello. Thanks for being here, Devon. Mike Camparelli says just got my cha-ching. Oh, that was quick. Hit that like button. Yes, we have a thing here on this live where if you hit the like button sometime within 24 hours, I don't know how or why it works, you're going to get a sale. And I think that's why we get a lot of people that come to the live just to get their like and get the sale. I don't know. It works. For many, many people, it works. Lenny K says, hello all. Thanks for being here, Lenny. And let's see. Ed's with us. Hey, John and Jenna. Nice and toasty 95 here in Cali today. 102 is what we're looking at.
107.
Okay.
Your thing is not right.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But I had to guess. Mike says, John, how about a head count for who will be attending the reseller rally? Yes. So how many of you folks, you kind folks out there are going to be with us in Cincinnati in just a little over a month from today? So want to know if you're going to be able to make it. I was contemplating if we have enough people that watch the program that maybe we can all kind of plan on
do a meetup.
Meet like let's say Sunday, like morning for breakfast or something, or one of the days where I'm going to be out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So would love to do a meetup with some of you guys and see who we actually put the names with the faces. Let's see. Ed says my sales have definitely picked up, but that's because I've been listening every day and being active. But I think, Ed, you hit on something right there. So many people will say that there is no correlation between your activity and your performance. And I disagree. You know, you can ask so many people. You can ask, I mean, the people within my immediate circle. You talk about, you know, Archie. When he's focused on his eBay, his sales take off. He's calling me and telling me about all the sales that he's made, and it's great. When he doesn't, when he's out doing something else, it tends to suffer, right? And it's like a roller coaster for him. And I could tell you I'm kind of concerned about that this weekend. We're going to be going for like 4 days. And of course, I'm going to have some listings that I'm going to have to launch. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have some listings that I'm going to have to launch while we're gone. I'm going to do it strategically over that 5-day window. So I have activity, but I really don't necessarily think that's the same. I really look at eBay as your activity being quickly answering customer questions, sending out offers, answering offers, or accepting or declining offers, listing items, various things like that within your account. That's much more than just scheduling a listing and not looking at your app or your computer. Creating listings, you're working on, utilizing the app or the PC to make listings or making drafts, doing research. I think that's even activity in eBay, searching for different things to maybe you're looking to source things. I think that is very, very important. And, it's not going to make or break things, but I think there is a high importance on maybe that's thrown into your account health, but it is, I got to tell you, I'm convinced, guys. And look, eBay is never going to come out and give us a user's manual to their program on how to get the most out of the algorithm. Okay. So anyone that tells you that's hogwash is the same as the person that's telling you that it is a thing, because neither one, I'm just kind of doing that, neither one know what the truth is, and eBay will never tell us. So if never spending time with eBay, taking it to the park, going for a walk, that type of thing with eBay, spending quality time with it, isn't it your cup of tea and you're killing it? Well, then keep doing what you're doing. But for those of you who don't spend the kind of time that eBay is requiring or asking for, that could unlock some sales. And it looks like maybe for Ed, that could be a thing. And I'm a firm believer in that. Kim Sharp says, hello, everyone. In the middle of a self-imposed 24-hour listing challenge and thankful for the live to motivate me while I continue to list. Going to Alaska in October, so that has to be cold.
I want to go to Alaska.
Yeah, that sounds fun. So, it's just one of those things. You've got to have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I think having this conversation that recently where life is a grind. Life will demotivate you. Life in itself, if you have nothing to look forward to, if all you do is get up and you work, and you have no outlet or have nothing to, okay, I'm going to work hard because this weekend I'm going to go here and I'm going to work even harder because I'm not going to be around and I want to make sure I have extra listings. If you don't have anything to look forward to, then you kind of get burnt out. I mean, that's how I get burned out. And it takes a lot to burn me out. I get this feeling of, wow, I don't really have a lot to look forward to. Maybe I have a 2-3 week string where maybe I don't play golf or whatever. I start creating in my mind like opportunities. Well, maybe I'll go to the casino and spend some time, or we'll go watch a movie or go do something. But you got to build in opportunities like that in your schedule to treat yourself. Otherwise, it's horrible. Can you imagine going to a 9-to-5 and never getting a day off? That would suck. I think for most people would quit that job. Mm-hmm. Amazon Seller 99 says, hey guys, thanks for being here. We got No One Design 2 says, hey John and Jenna, 4 more days and they will permanently give you a salami sandwich. Devon says, I'm listening to, I'm cleaning a handbag. Okay.
What kind?
Hopefully it's authentic and not a knockoff.
Come on.
Do me a favor. When they come and get the mail, could you take the Chihuahuas outside so they don't bark? They get bored and they want us to pay attention to them. and they start barking, and I can't
Not
deal with
Chewy.
it.
Chewy's good boy.
Well, he'll participate in the
No.
other one. He will. Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening, but we're not sure where he's from. So,
Okay.
yeah, if you could do that, I'd appreciate it, because these dogs, I tell you, no one wants to hear these dogs bark. I think most of you guys can agree with that. Ping G says, hi, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here. And then we got Josh. It said, hey, guys, I'm getting in. Well, I'm sure you're getting into the live. It's 3:01 when you put that in. 20 minutes behind, so I'm making good time. Sylvia Hunt says, good evening, all. Thanks for being here, Sylvia. Savage Picker says, hello, all. Sales are at a trickle. Had a return today, INAD, which is a bogus because I used the exact language in the sticker. One thing we have to accept, guys, and I've accepted this a while ago, even though it does get on my nerves. An INAD is always going to be whatever the buyer feels. It doesn't matter what you feel or what you can prove in the listing, because eBay's not listening. You can, of course, go in and report your buyer if they've done a false INAD. That will sometimes earn you a $6 return shipping credit. And I want to also clear the air on this. If you get an INAD, I think there's a misconception. You still can actually have access to the refund tool. And I think there's people that feel like, well, I'm going to deduct the original shipping, and we'll withhold that. I'm going to deduct the cost of the label, and I'm going to hit them for whatever. Sometimes people put a restocking fee. You can't do that, guys. I mean, yeah, the system might allow you to do it, but if you do it too many times, you're going to get a warning, followed by, if it continues, you're going to get that tool taken away from you. So I've kind of been very, very careful on how I utilize INADs. I think we feel kind of violated in a way when someone claims something that isn't true, and it hurts us, it affects us. It hurts us because eBay counts that return against you. But, you still got to play within eBay's rules. And I'm not saying you're not, but I think there's a lot of confusion on how to use that tool when you have an INAD that you don't agree with. Ed says, the only way I can think you can make money on auction is by extremely desirable item or bulk buying clothing pallets and starting them all at $1 and hope a few sell for more than 10. Yeah, but I mean, even then, wouldn't you be better off putting it out for a yard sale? If you have a bunch of clothes, you're just going to do $1, a piece. Just have a big bin outside, and $1 a piece. That's kind of the norm, right? If you're going to start like 10 to 20 items in a lot at $1, and you're hoping that you're going to get at least 10, well, you're only getting 50 cents a piece if you hit your mark. But there's a chance you're probably going to get somewhere between $1 and $10. Because there's not a whole lot of activity. You might get one, or remember, you have to have more than one buyer to make an auction work. Otherwise, one buyer who sees your auction will take that $1 and won't get bid up, and they're going to get that deal for $1. And for me, I just don't think there's enough people that think of auctions anymore, enough buyers that think of auctions anymore as a viable way to obtain that item that they need or want, or maybe they're a reseller too, and they're just there to take advantage of a low price, take advantage of your weak moment that, I just got to blow these out because I ain't going to sell them any other way. So to me, I think 5 years ago, maybe that idea plays well, but every time I look at an item or even comps, I'll see one or two auctions, and usually those items sell, but at a much lower rate than a fixed price item. Linda F says, hi, everyone from East Texas. Thanks for being here, Linda. And let's see. Cassandra says, I had a frivolous INAD too. So frustrating. Yeah, it sucks because, you take the time to evaluate, clean, evaluate, put the pictures out, maybe take photos of the problems with the item. You take the time to not only mention, at least us, in the item condition and in the description, and then they come back and say, well, there's a scratch on this item. Well, I mentioned that scratch, but eBay doesn't care. It's rubber stamped in the buyer's favor, and there's nothing you can do to other than the $6 return label credit that you may get And I've only received one time the entire time they've had that program. Biff Boffo says, I don't know why eBay never implemented soft endings on auctions. Other sites have this model. Because eBay, I think unless it's Amazon, eBay hasn't really cared to try to emulate other sites. eBay has done well to, they are the ones that were the first auctions, and they totally have gone away from the focus on auctions. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could create a focus, make awareness on auctions. But I got to tell you, the kids these days, anywhere from the millennials to Gen Z, they want it now. And that's because of Amazon. When they came up, Amazon was here. I got to tell you, I'm even guilty of that. When I go and buy something online, my first destination, her first destination is Amazon. We have Amazon Prime. We pay $15 a month. We know we're going to get free shipping, but I know that in many cases, I'm going to get it sometimes today. I'll get stuff, I'll order, and I'll get it. It'll be delivered to me today. I ordered some golf balls, and I got them the same day. Yeah, well, you got to order. When you're a bad golfer, you lose golf balls. So you got to order more. You got to restock, right? So, there's something appealing about that. People want instant gratification. And which is why I make it a point with my handling time to set it same day. I just realized that might be the difference between someone buying my item and my competitor's item, because I'm going to get it to them a day quicker. Midnight Merchant says, some folks are doing well with auctions on Whatnot, but they got to have an audience first, take some dedication to build up. Yeah. So that's a different animal than, again, what we're talking about with eBay. You can make some type of auctions work. So Whatnot, you have to have people. Like I said, if you only have one person showing up to your auction, they're going to get all of your stuff at the minimum price because they're not going to bid themselves up. And even if you have some people showing up to the Whatnot auctions, if they're not willing to buy that item's not appealing to them, they're not going to bid on it. So I think maybe you got to counter in, well, if I have 100 people watching my Whatnot auction, maybe only 10 to 20% of those people are going to bid on any given item. So, you really got to build, it's a numbers game. And for many, they don't have the kind of following, and you got to really build it if you don't have social media to really make Whatnot work. Devon says, I stopped auctions years ago, tired of unpaid buyers. That's another thing. Mm-hmm. Let's say you get finally a successful auction, and what's good as an auction if you're not getting paid? Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to create disappointment. I'd rather have an unsold auction than an auction for, a buyer who has no intention on buying my item. And a lot of times, maybe they were shopping, 2 days into your auction and put in a bid and totally forgot about it. And then by the time your auction ended, you had no more activity. They win, and they don't even realize that they won, and they don't pay as well. So again, I just think that it's a bad business model for the most part, for many reasons, to utilize auctions. And the only reason why I would think about considering using an auction from here on out is if I know this thing has some value. I know it does. I'm going to start it at a decent price, and I'm going to let the market take care of itself. But there's just no comps. I have no way of knowing what that item sells for. Yeah, and then Ed says, I think John means eBay auctions specifically. Live auctions are completely different. Yeah, that's exactly it. And then No One Design says, just my opinion, you can tell who's the cool kids are by the shirts they wear. Rolling Stone, Jenna. There you go.
That's right.
There you go. Unicorn Museum. Hey, all. Hope John, Jenna, and Chad are good. I like auctions I'm sick of looking at in my store and to get some sales to maybe juice the algo. Usually popular with lots of watchers, no action. I was one that thought last year that, and it may be, I think a lot of times we do things as sellers and something happens, something positive happens as a result. And we think, I know now that this is something that's going to work because I did this and I got X amount of sales as a result. Last year, I was one that said, wow, maybe there's something to the idea that if you run an auction or two, that your other items get good play. Now, I had a decent sales week while I had these auctions running, and I have no more auctions running, and today's a crappy. I mean, we can look at data and form conclusions. You know, a lot of this stuff where, how many of you guys have had a day where no sales at all, and then it seems like, boom, a switch flips and you're getting sales, right? And then it switches back off. Well, is that really a switch being flipped, or is it just your items are maybe getting higher placement in search for whatever reason?
We're never going to know. eBay's
won't know.
never going to tell us any of the gray area, like on Josh's live this morning.
Yeah,
never going to give us the information that we so badly want.
Yeah. And we'll never know. And it's not, and to continue that conversation, I don't know if you guys watch Josh Galt's videos, his live streams, but he runs one at 10 a.m. Pacific time every day, 1 o'clock Eastern. And he gets kind of into discussions about things that's going on directly with him. Today it was more about his desire to speak directly with the CEO and his realization of how that's not going to happen, and how things that we all want to see changed as a community is not going to happen. And there's many, many reasons for that. Now, one reason why I chimed in his live was that eBay's system is very old and antiquated. So the site we see, yes, it looks different than it did 10 years ago, because they've slapped lipstick on this old pig. And it's the same infrastructure running in the background. And that reminds me greatly of the system that we had. Well, you know, when we worked at the company we worked at for so many years, it was, well, but I'm not going to say it. But those of you who know the channel, know the content, you guys know who we worked for. And the system was so antiquated, and then they still have the old system. And they've built systems, interfaces to, and changes within that system, that the system was still there, and the end user, their interaction was a little different, but the commands behind the scene, the programming was all the same. And a person reached out to me within the company and showed me this diagram that showed me the hundreds of things that the system that initially was put into place many years ago supports. And if you remove this main system that's so old, it breaks everything that it was set up for. Okay. So it's not so easy as, okay, we're going to make a new eBay. We're going to make a new eBay, and then one day you guys are going to come out and everything's going to be fine. No, if they make a new eBay, it's going to break everything that eBay is currently attached to. Could be the managed payments program, could be some of these APIs, many APIs that are linked currently to it. It would break so many things. You guys think you guys have issues now with some of these bugs that are going on? The bugs you see going on is them trying to fix things within the inner system that's breaking other things. It's accomplishing A and breaking B. And then they get feedback that it's broken this thing, so they have to go back and fix that, hopefully not breaking C. That makes sense. So it's no surprise to me, guys, that these things happen. They happen not only to eBay, they happen all over the place when it comes to technology.
I mean, if you guys could even have taken a look at what we dealt with at our previous company, the type of system. Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, we used F1 through F9 or whatever it is. Yeah, F9. And we had green and black screens. Like, what are those? Are those DOS?
Yeah, it looked like you're looking at old DOS screens.
Oh my God, it was
monochrome kind of.
It was terrible.
Yeah, and I was there for many years, and I found a way to just navigate beyond the little interface they gave us with the hotkeys, and I would just use the old system, even though they told us not to. I was faster with the old system, but
that just tells you how long you were there.
Yeah, but it's a comfort level, but. Ping G says, I sell in a very narrow niche. In the past, I only used auction style for cast
Cast member
pins, okay, that were released in limited numbers years ago. Started them at $99 and a few got bids, so I was happy. Yeah, and that's fine, but I'm wondering, okay, you started them at 99 and you're willing to take 99, where you just saying, okay, look, I'm not quite sure what these really are worth, so I'd be comfortable getting 99, but if they go up to 150, then that's good too. And that goes into my point. You don't quite know what it's worth, so you're setting a value of that what you're comfortable getting, and then hopefully it has more value and more bidders to bid it up, that kind of thing. That's what we worked with last year with a lot of those military patches. You know, I'm going to keep referencing it because it's a selling experience that I learned a lot from.
Not many have.
Huh?
Selling experience, not many people.
Well, like you don't, but it's along those same lines. We're selling those pins for like $9.99 starting price on auction, and then a lot of times it would sell for that. But then if it was a special pin or patch, I'd get 150. But it's because I didn't have comps. If I had comps, like, 5 to 10 comps that said this particular patch was worth 20, I would have saved myself the hassle and just listed it as a fixed price for 20. But because you don't have a lot of information to work off of, I'm assuming that's probably why you did it. It's Sandy in the Stick says, hi, just waiting for the hurricane to hurry up and get here in sunny Florida and go away.
Yeah, you guys are holding on for dear life right now.
Yeah, well, just
stay safe. Yeah. That's all we ask.
But you guys are used to it, though.
Yeah, you guys are. We're not. If it was John, he would be on the Weather Channel.
I would be that guy holding the flag. You know something funny we were going to do, and it just turned out to be a dud. We were going to make a video when this storm hit us, this tropical storm, and she was going to have like the blower blowing me, and I was going to have a flag, and I was going to be like, yeah, we're making it through. We're holding on. And then we're going to have like our son walk by in the background like nothing was a problem, right? But we decided not to do it, like that guy holding the flag that was about to fall over in some of those memes that we see. Gina says, I still use both auctions and fixed prices. But now, with that said, you use auctions and fixed prices. So why do you use auctions versus fixed prices? Is there a certain type of item where you'll throw an auction versus a fixed price? And if you get a sale on an auction, see, my hypothesis based on my experiences, you're not going to get as much for that item as if you sold it with the fixed price. So very curious if you can kind of add your experience to that. Biff Boffo says, the last auction I did, I had a Nolan Ryan rookie card that was trimmed so PSA wouldn't grade it. I auctioned it to get what I could. Think I got about 400. Yeah, and I think a lot of people probably had, or that person probably had the same thought that they're going to get it from you and send it into PSA, and or they just wanted a good deal on a card. Joe Simard says, howdy y'all, thanks for being here. And Biscuit Butt says, I'm auctioning myself right now. I'm sure I'll be the one owing someone. Well, luckily for you, Archie, I don't see Roman here, so he would be the only one. Is he? Yeah. Well, then you got a bidder.
You're just too
okay.
slow.
Well, yeah. I'm not used to seeing Roman until like the 45-minute mark in this program. Savage Picker says, only did a couple of auctions. I have everything listed as buy it now. But what were your experiences with auctions? What keeps you going back to auctions instead of fixed price? Let's see. Mark Suddick says, a big hello all. Thanks for being here, Mark. Awesome that you're here today. And Gina says, auctions for quilts, fabrics, etc., but fixed. So curious to know more about why you do auctions instead of a fixed price. Midnight Merchant says, popular items can work on eBay auctions. Best to start the bid at the lowest you're willing to accept so you don't lose profit. But now when you say popular items, wouldn't it be better to put those as fixed price? Since they're popular, you're going to have a lot of data to find a good, maybe a low and a high. Maybe you're trying to move it fast. You're more willing to do a fixed at a low. If you're just going at the lowest you're willing to accept, which could be lower than market, why would you do that if there are some comps? So are you thinking that maybe this item is going to sit as a fixed price for weeks, and maybe at a lower price point, you can at least have it sold within 5 to 7 days. I'm just trying to figure out why some go that route, because again, it seems like every time I try it, it's I'm not dealing with the greatest items, but there's still items with sold comps, and it's just not a great place, at least for me, in my experience, to get stuff moved. I'm not even getting that kind of traction. So, and it's because those items aren't very popular. I think I had a lighting. What do they call them? Those lighting.
I don't know. You called them with some funky name.
Started with a T, Trotch or Tranche.
What?
I don't know. I'm looking to see what it is, but it's a lighting bank for lights, like a commercial lighting bank. I had it's a 2-pack, 4 feet by 2 feet, and there's comps in there for like $70. And I think with that one though, even though I put that in auction, I think I had the shipping was a little high. Even the dimensions were correct, but utilizing calculated was still so high that I had to actually go in and do a fixed price listing, to where I did a range, and it's something I'm probably gonna do a video on, but I looked up, okay, this item with these dimensions and this weight, what is the lowest I'll pay? So shipping it to my zip code, right? As compared to the highest I'd pay, like Doral, Florida, right? And that's a range anywhere from 13, I think, to $42. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to set a hybrid shipping policy, which means it's $29.99 flat, no matter who buys it. And if I end up paying $14 out of pocket to Florida, then that's what I do. I take a little hit there. But chances are I'll get someone in the middle of the United States where $29.99 would have been about the right price. So I did that as to not scare away the masses with, I think it was showing Florida people $65 on eBay. And if the other people are selling that at $70 to $80 free shipping, there ain't no way they're going to buy my item, because it's just too much between the shipping and the cost. Let's see. Ernie says auctions on a lot of items, mainly collector's items. And I think maybe I need to change the number. Maybe my 99% is too high, but I think it's right up there. You can fall within the 1% there, where that would be the only reason you're dealing with collectible items where there's really no true understanding or no true market for that item. Maybe just one item, right? Maybe someone else put it on auction, but even that's not enough to really know that's what that item's worth. Because if you only had 2 or 3 people that bid that item up, you put it up this week, you might have 5 to 10, and you'll see a totally different result. PTS says, I only done 2 auctions since I started in November. First one was just curiosity, and the second I couldn't find a comp. Got no bites on the second and sold as a bite now. Yeah, I think most people will have that same experience. Gina says auctions for quilts, vintage fabrics, but fixed for hard items that I can find comps for. And then we have Jerry Johnson says, hello everyone. Thanks for being here, Jerry. Variety Flipper says, I got $4.01 on Archie if he washes the car's bike and boat.
Hey, I'll take $5. I'll do $5 if he does the listing.
Let's see. Marvelous Cards says, I sell collectibles, trading cards, and I just find that buy it now, best offer options with a 3 to 5% promo and markdown sale combo bring in larger profits. Just have competitive pricing and quality listings. That's all it is, guys.
Absolutely.
Again, most people...
You need to put that on a shirt.
Most people want a low effort experience. I don't care if you're buying on eBay. I don't care if you're going to the car washes. We're talking about car washes. I don't care if you're going to the grocery store. People just want a simple experience. And if they're buying items that, well, I want this item, but that means that, if I place a bid, I may not get it. Some yahoo might bid me up and make me pay more. That doesn't, I want it now. I want to buy it, pay for it, and have you ship it today. So an auction ain't going to meet the needs for most people. And I'm willing to bet if most of us stopped doing auctions and started doing fixed price, setting like a fixed price, what am I comfortable getting? I think that would be probably the better long-term strategy. But I think there's a number of people that, kind of like the way I was last year when I had those patches, I didn't want to miss out on I didn't want to give a home run item away. I didn't know that this particular patch had value to somebody or a group of people. So if I listed it at, say, $20 and it was worth 120, well, someone was going to snatch it up right away and I was going to lose out on $100. So that's the 1%. If you're within that 1%, you're selling stuff that really you don't have an idea what the market is. That's really the only time to use it, in my opinion. Let's see. Mr. Boo NN Yo says, stopping by to drop a thank you for being one of the only other voices of reason in Joe's last video regarding misusing seller deductions.
Mr. Bunyo.
Bunyo. Yeah.
Bunny O. Bunny O.
Let me make it clear here. And I kind of felt bad when I left the remark because I didn't want Joe to take it the wrong way. I really respect Joe, this Joe Crazy New York driver. I am very opinionated, though, and a lot of times I'll come out and just say it. And since we're on that subject, he had some returns. He had a return where a guy bought a couple center caps. He described it to the T, and one of the center caps the person had an issue with, and he wanted to send the one back. He's like, no, you got to send them both back. So the guy opened up an INAD, and Joe was like, I ain't paying for the original shipping, so he's not getting that back, and I'm deducting for the return label, and I'm standing my ground, and this, that, and the other thing. Look, as recently as 6 months ago, I felt the same way until I got a notice from eBay saying, look, you can't do this. You're going to lose your refund tool. And I contacted eBay and I said, so what gives here? You guys state you have a $6, what's $6 when the label's 30? We have a $6 label credit for false INADs. I've only gotten one, even though I report the buyers all the time whenever they do these things. And you guys don't follow through with your own policy half the time. And they told me, well, you just can't do that. You have to report the buyer. There's a process for it. But when a buyer opens an INAD, you're expected to give them a full refund and then deal with eBay later. Maybe contact eBay, open a case if need be, if they've totally destroyed your item, that type of thing. But it's more of a pattern. So if you use a refund tool once in a while, like this is egregious, they ruined my item, yet they say it was an INAD. They never got it this way. They ruined it. Once in a while is not going to kill you. But if it becomes your policy and it flies in the face of eBay's policy, remember, guys, we talk about how it's eBay's sandbox. It doesn't matter how you feel at all about eBay's policy. It's eBay's policy. And nowhere and I looked it up before I even put that comment. I looked it up. Where here does it say we can do X, Y, and Z? And there is no place that says when it comes to an INAD, you can do whatever you want. You have to follow the policy that's laid into place. And I think it's all about, for me, it's a cost of doing business. You guys don't like me saying that term, but it's a cost of doing business. So if I take a hit on a return label on false INAD, well, guess what? I'll be able to write that off at the end of the year. But what I can't do is if I abuse eBay systems out of principle, I can't protect my account health when eBay decides to hold that against me. So for me, it's up to you on how you want to handle your business, but I would be very, very careful when it comes to standing your ground in the face of what eBay is asking you to do.
And I think Josh touched on that too in his video this morning.
Yeah.
If you overuse it, then they're going to take it away.
Yeah. Use that refund tool for egregious situations. So, okay. How about this? You have a $100 item. They send you back their old broken one. Of course, they say it's an INAD, and you get back the old broken one. You're out the original shipping. You're out the return label, and you now have a broken one that's no more than a paperweight. Well, then I would say, you know what? That's an exception. Use it then, adjust it, even though it wasn't an INAD, and report the buyer. But if you have this thing where I don't do returns, I have no returns, but when a buyer opens a return, you reluctantly accept it, and now you're going to penalize the buyer for opening that return. That's the wrong policy to have, because eBay, it's going to get back to you. I think it was Mountain Man Treasures. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I think it was him who actually had to deal with an account issue, maybe a suspension on his account, because of too many adjustments using the refund tool. And you just got to be very careful. You just got to be very, very careful, guys. It's eBay doesn't look. eBay will suspend you. Doesn't matter if you have an account, a social media following. Doesn't matter if you have a big account. eBay will hold policy violations against you, and we're just simply a number. That's just it. I'm no better than you. You're no better than the next guy. We're all in the same boat. So having these discussions is just to create awareness that you really need to treat your account health with the most importance. I don't even know if there's a dollar value you can place on your account health. At the end of the day, if eBay knocks you down from top rated to above standard, it's going to ruin all the success you may have currently. So it's just not worth it for me. Devon says, my weekends are quiet, and today I sold an $80 bag.
Woo,
Awesome.
woo, we like that.
Cassandra says, I want to thank whoever mentioned that they add a 50-cent handling charge to their items. I just implemented it, and it helps covering my packaging costs.
We do $1.
Well, we do $1 on like when we're setting so we have like a calculated formula. We do FedEx calculated. It used to be UPS, but now it's FedEx calculated. And whatever, and we pass on our rates, our savings, our discount from eBay, but we add $1 in to offset the fact that we're going to be hit with eBay fees on this shipping, right? That's mainly why we do it, but tape's not free, boxes aren't free, poly bags and bubble mailers from GyroPack down below. Click the link if you want 10% off. We have great prices. I'm not just saying it because they're a sponsor of the channel.
We need a place in order, by the way.
Yeah, we will. Because I'm one that bought many poly mailers and bubble mailers in the past on Amazon, and these guys with that 10% coupon will do a much better job.
The quality is just so much better. I'll tell you right now.
Right.
I don't have to use so much tape.
Right. So those things aren't free. So I think 50 cents is kind of on the low side. Maybe $1. I mean, $1 ain't going to be a make or break. Maybe it will be, but find that happy place and make sure you're not getting killed on your supplies. Yeah. Jerry says, I figured out how to send an offer to watchers and receive 4 orders within a couple hours.
Yeah. Go Jerry.
There you go. And then that's the formula you want to follow. Keep doing that. Henri Squaw has a question. When you move your items from one account to another, do you have to retake all the pictures? No, you don't, but you have to go in and save them. So you go into normally I would use, if I'm dealing with a lot of items that I'm moving from one account to the other, I'll just say, you know what, I'm going to save myself a couple hours. I'm going to go in and I'm going to just do Ink Frog, a thing like that, Ink Frog, and they have it set up to where they pull all your items in from, let's say, the 2 accounts, right, into one master library. And then you can go in and say, okay, I want to end this item, and then I want to relist this item the way it was with the same photos, and I'm just going to put it on this store instead. And that one works good, and you're going to save a lot of time. But if you're dealing with, say, under 50 items and don't want to spend $39.95 a month for that service, even for the 1 month you're going to use it, then you're going to have to go into each listing and right-click, save as, and save it to somewhere on your computer for all the photos that you're moving. And then you end the item. I would say after you ended those items, go into the other account, find the item that you ended, okay, by looking up the same exact title, and then sell similar, and then go in and put your photos that you just saved. That's the way to do it. And oh, look at this. You
have 2, honey.
You got 2? I didn't see the first one.
You have it's a super chat. These are...
Yeah, we got a super chat from Ruben Almanza. So thank you, Ruben. I got a swap out yesterday.
I hate those.
Yeah, and see, the reason, this is a big thing with Amazon. Amazon returns, you can just throw whatever. I could buy this and throw this in there, and as soon as tracking starts, they refund your money. In fact, that item will never get inspected. It'll go to some place where they throw it in liquidation, okay? And then someone like me will get liquidation and be like, oh, wow, I got this. It's a swap out. get those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they figure, well, let's do that on eBay. We get away with it on Amazon, but you have a remedy, and your remedy would simply be to go in and utilize that tool. So again, even if it's an INAD, because a lot of times they will do an INAD to get the free return label, use that once in a while to protect your investment, get 50% back. But what I'm saying is don't use it. Don't make it a habit. Don't make it I'm going to do this in every situation. You might get a false INAD and the item comes back to you just fine. They may say it doesn't work. They open a false INAD to get the return label. You get it. I had it the other day. Guy said this weed whacker that we were selling didn't work, and I fired it up. Both speeds worked. Everything was fine. So they just wanted a free return label. That's all it is. So I, of course, gave them a full refund and moved on.
Begrudgingly.
And moved on and report the buyer in hopes I'll get $6 back, which I won't. But that's kind of how you have to do it. But don't make it your policy to do it every time.
Yeah.
Shalami says, question, is lipstick on a pig the same as pig on a lipstick? Hashtag pork lives matter. I can't believe that you gave us $6 to say that, but we would have showed your comment either way.
It's because you're so behind it. They have this conversation already.
Well, thank you, Noah Design. I can't wait till you change your Shalami sandwich back to your name, though.
Oh,
but
just don't change your picture.
Thank you. I will put that in my gas tank on the way to New Mexico. So thank you.
No, it'll be going to Dutch Bros for coffee for your wife at 2 a.m.
Fine. Yes. We're going to be leaving early. We have an 11-hour drive on Thursday
in the morning.
Yeah. So for that reason, want you guys to know we're not going to have a live this Friday. And of course, like we've done in the past on the holiday, we're not having the live on the holiday. We'll have it on the Tuesday. So we're not going to have.
I thought we said we weren't going to do. Everybody said take the.
Oh, you said take the day off. We're not going to have a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cool.
You said.
Well, I say cool only in the sense that the day after an 11-hour drive, I'm going to be dragging my butt, and we're going to have a lot of packages we're going to be shipping. So
we're going to be dragging.
We probably would have to have the live while we're packing our stuff. That's getting our shipping done. It's just going to be that crazy. So. Yeah, so it's one of those things where I don't want to just do a live and just to drag my butt in front of the camera just to do a live. I want to have some energy and to be able to answer your questions and at least feel like, I'm into it. So hopefully you guys can understand. So I think we're probably going to do it on I think that's like the 8th.
The following Friday. So
the following Friday, whatever that day is. The following Friday is the 8th.
Yeah.
And I'm working on getting a special guest to hang out with. Again, I want to support some of the smaller channels that have supported this program by watching and commenting and being a part of the community here. If you're a channel that maybe wants to build your channel and get some exposure in front of, we have about 160, 170 people on average every time we go live, and we'll definitely want to support you. But if you've never commented, been a part of this community, it's going to be something you have to work towards and kind of be a part of the community before we do that. So we have someone lined up that has been a part of this community that we're going to showcase very, very soon.
He has a question.
Okay, we have Dan says, no, it's
not in there. It's right here.
Oh, it does? Okay. Well, thanks for the super sticker, Dan. I appreciate it. I'm going to jump to your question.
I think it's because he wants his question answered.
Where's he at? Down at the bottom?
No.
I'm trying to catch up.
He put it a couple times, so you might see it.
Okay. Try to get to your question, Dan. Okay. It says, please comment glitch. Two buyers could not complete checkout. I got Philippines, nothing. Got US will forward, but interesting, commented, I noticed your promotion is well below suggested.
Ooh.
Huh. Interesting. I gotta tell you, there's people that have complained that have received comments from buyers that have said, look, I've tried to buy your item and it just won't let me check out. Now, is that a problem with the credit card? I mean, that is something that is a real thing. If they're trying to use a credit card that maybe is maxed out or their bank is maxed out, they don't have the money, they gave the wrong card. It could be a lot of things that's causing that legitimately. But if we're dealing as sellers with a lot of problems, can you imagine how many buyers are dealing with checkout problems and things of that nature? So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but I notice your promotion is well below suggested. That turns me off.
Yeah.
That's none of their business.
Right.
To be quite frank.
I agree. And it's funny. I was very close to Dan's question. I was very close to getting to it. But thank you, Dan, for the super sticker.
Thank you, Dan.
Glad to address it. But again, a lot of these things that happen on the site, there's not a whole lot we can do. I mean, we can reach out to eBay for an answer, but just know that, and of course, reporting a glitch. I think that's important to do.
You said each checked credit card.
Each check credit card, huh? It could definitely be a glitch within your account. I wouldn't doubt it at all. It's certainly something I wouldn't hold it past anyone. And we got no one to sign as well. So sending super chat to fast forward, John, 45 minutes ahead. Leave Porky alone. Oh boy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to address a lot of some of the stuff that people are asking in the chat. But thank you, No One Design, for being a Shalami Shamich, at least for the next 4 days. Duncan VR says, I've been watching your show a while now from Sydney. You always answer everyone. Good job. Been on eBay 20 years. I do auctions and buy it now. I once had 99 cents to 800 on an old US envelope, 1860s. I had maybe 1,000 following me. Awesome. Well, I know you've been a part of this channel for a while. I've read many of your comments, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you on that. And certainly, if you have a channel on YouTube and you want to hit me up, flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com. Certainly we'll have you on. That's certainly not a problem. Something I want to do, like to finish out the year, like every other week, maybe have a new channel on and to kind of show people, there's much more than just the handful of channels that you might already know. And I think that's the hardest part of being a creator, is getting yourself out there to where people even know about you. And I don't even consider myself that big of a channel. I mean, I'm just a speck on the butt of eBay YouTubers that are out there. There's so many larger channels in mine. So we're all trying to get exposure to grow our channels, I think. And then our buddy Mike Camparelli says, super chats, woohoo, I want to join the party. Well, Mike, thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. And just looking forward to seeing you on Cincinnati. And speaking of Cincinnati, I saw the coolest thing on Instagram last night. There's a steakhouse. I think it's like Ruby's Steakhouse out in Cincinnati, where they bring out, it's a mold of a pair of, it's one single Jordan shoe. And they have it in this special box. They pull it out and it's a cake. And it looks just like a replica of a pair of Jordans, and like the different colorways that they bring out.
But they never cut into it.
Well, I think they did on another one, but on that particular, it's like one of those 30-second reels on Instagram, and it's like $75 to get this dessert. But I told Jen, I said, that is so freaking cool. I said, I want to do that.
He wants to go do it. And I'm like, $75 for a piece of cake?
I want to freaking do that. That is so cool.
Hold on. No Bullshit says, there is a lot of echo in your room. Are you guys using the correct microphone?
Uh-oh.
Is everybody hearing the echo?
Echo. Hello?
Dumb.
I mean, it shouldn't have any problems. But
Sonny's here.
So if there's anybody else that are having problems with the audio, let me know. I'll try to fix it if I can.
Wait, you got a $22 one? What the heck?
Australian $22.
Oh, from who?
I think it's around $10 US. That's from the Duncan VR.
Aww.
Yeah, I read it. So, he's basically saying, and we've talked about this here, that he does auctions, 99 cents. He did one from 99 cents up to 800 on an old US envelope.
Wow.
So, yeah, it can be done. But I'm willing to bet that envelope that you sold, you put up for 99 cents and said, you know what, whatever it sells at. Let the market take, tell me what it's worth. And you would have had no idea. You could have listed that for $100. Probably would have been very happy to get it. but because you had no sold comps, I'm sure that's the case, you allowed the market to take care of it. So that's kind of the 1% of items rule, I think. Jerry says, I figured out how to send an offer to watchers and receive 4 orders within complete hours. I know. I think she put that twice. She put that twice. Sure? Yeah. Underscore says, when you move your items from one account to another, I think I'm way behind.
No, you're just not reading the right one.
I'm trying. I'm jumping around. Okay. But there's Dan's
Kristen!
question. Rich Colby is with us. Says, no extra income right now to afford a trip like that. We'll be watching virtually.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Well, I realize we can't. I mean, there's a lot of people who want to go. They just can't get tickets too. It's not so much for them that they, they can't afford it. They just couldn't.
But even still, we understand that boat. We've been in it.
Yeah.
Kristen's here, rural squirrel.
Where? Did I go back up? Right. Oh yeah, there it is. Hey, gang, thanks for being here. And I'm sure I'm a little bit behind, but
a little.
Roman says, Tommy realized after my last live that I love big YouTubers and Archie loves me, and that I am not a reseller anymore.
See, that's when he came on.
Yeah. Roman, love the guy. He loves to do the lives. I think that's something he looks forward to. I think that's his hobby. He loves to do those lives where he just.
And he had Christopher on, which I didn't even realize.
Oh,
Christopher Nutter.
Yeah.
He's a long-time viewer.
Let's see. Josh says, hi, John and Jenna. Hopefully sales are rocking. Not so much today, but it is what it is. Every week we have 1 or 2 days where it's kind of feels like it's underperforming, and then it just takes off. Biff says, and you have a different.
It's his in and out picture.
Yeah, a little different one now. Speaking of working hard, I learned today that China promotes 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to 6 days per week. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And
we kind of do that anyway. Right?
I mean, they build hospitals like in a month or something stupid like that out there. I mean, they work their people, I don't want to say to death, but they work them pretty hard. Marvelous Card says, I'm in Vegas, so if you guys ever go to Dave & Buster's, let me know. I have a deal where I get bonus points for more plays, and I'll buy you guys some drinks, and we can all play some Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Wow, I haven't played that in years.
Send me an email. Glad to explore that.
Where's Dave & Buster's?
I've never seen one. It's probably in one of the casinos somewhere.
No, I bet you it's down. I know, down by near Henderson.
Yeah.
In that one, remember that mall thing?
Mm-hmm.
That we went to with Kelly and Tom. Anyway.
Yeah. Sylvia says, John, you said 2 chihuahuas is too much. Imagine 5 dogs in here every time they see squirrels.
Oh, God.
Wow. Ed says, you have access to the refund tool and you can still retain original shipping. Yes. But from what I was told, that if you have an INAD, they expect you to flip that switch to give back the original shipping. It's no different than making an adjustment. If you retain that shipping on an INAD, the cost of the original shipping, and give them a full refund of the item, it in their eyes is the same as if you made an adjustment. I didn't know that until I got that nasty gram from eBay. So you got to be careful there. Let's Do Lunch Podcast is popping in to say hi, hit the like, and support our friends. Well, thank you.
Is that Kristen or Angie? We know Kristen's here. Is Angie here too? Hi, guys.
So here we go.
What's this?
Noah Designs says, just a reminder, these super chats are for Jenna's coffee fund. Hashtag porking ain't easy. Well,
no, it's not.
Oh, geez.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very well caffeinated on the way to New Mexico.
Biscuit Bud Archie says, auction's good to get rid of stale inventory and items you don't know market value, and like the patches we did. Yeah. I just think that very small percentage of items should ever be auctioned. Everything you just, maybe it's, look, I don't want to do the research. Maybe you don't want to use Terapeak to go in and find what this item sold for over the last 2 years. But, if you use your tools, you might find that you're going to make more money by just putting a fixed price listing. She Shed Shopper says, hi, guys. So nice to see your happy faces after a day of putting up hurricane shutters and preparing for the worst.
Oh,
yes, hurricanes are the bad part of living in sunshine, palm trees, and pina coladas. Wow. Yeah, well, be safe. I don't want to see anyone get injured.
Hurricane shutter, that frightens the heck out of me.
Yeah. Eddie Estrada says, I too have finally given up on auctions. I will be discontinuing auctions and sending them to Mercari to sell cheap, like $5.
Yeah.
Right. I think that, it's probably better to get your stuff up on other sites than to even bother with an auction. And if you don't want to pay for the tools, I get it. Well, why not just at least start with Bonanza since it's free, and you get an extra sale here or there throughout the year, but it doesn't cost anything.
eBay. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was going to say something.
Perfectly Blessed says, Kristen was so close to me in Nashville, always on the go.
Aw.
I think that was that's the mailman.
That's the mailman.
Dixie Flipper says, hi, John and Jenna. Hope all is good. Just here listening. Hope to keep things going on eBay. I've also come to the fact and opened a Bonanza site. Yes, just waiting for the first sale. Well, don't cross your fingers. Don't hold your breath. Just one of those things that out of the blue one day you'll see a notification email, or you'll see a balance in your PayPal account, and the first place to look is your Bonanza site and to see what you sold. Let's see. Can you get him outside?
They're outside. We got another package.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so more fun from returns. For many of you guys who watch the channel know what I'm talking about, but I'm wanting her to return to sender on that, but it is what it is. Marvelous says, another reason I know auctions are usually a bad option is I tend to win auctions for items that I'm easily able to 2 to 5x my money on reselling. I get sellers canceling and not shipping all the time. Yeah, because those people put it at 99 cents, right? It used to be you could put it at a penny and get enough interest to get that item built up. And these people are putting these items up so cheap now, are finding that the resellers are grabbing it at like 99 cents. And they cancel the listing because they don't want to lose their butt. James says, hey, y'all, do you ever do shop reviews for other sellers? Mine is slower than usual. Yeah, I do look at stores, usually late at night when I'm like winding down. You can send me an email at flippin'ain'teasy. I'll put it in the chat here. Flippin', my keyboard doesn't want to work for some reason. Okay, interesting. Okay, here it goes. It was turned off. flippin'ain'teasy2020@gmail.com. And I will be very happy to look at your store. Let's see. Disgruntled Octopus says, morning, minions. Thanks for being here. And Devon says, I heard people do not make great money on Whatnot. People do make money. It's a volume game. So I go to the bins. I go and spend $100 on clothing or things that I think that would do well for my particular niche on Whatnot. And then I put it up for a starting price at $2. And hopefully my audience will build up the price. So that $100 will turn into $400, $500, $600, $700, $800. That's spending maybe an hour to prep, maybe a couple hours on the show, and an hour or two to ship, right? So you're still spending time, but it's people do that to just kind of churn through items. And it's, for some, it's a business model. But for me, I'd rather get max value and get those items listed, because a lot of the time the people that are buying those items are resellers anyway. Ping G says there are folks that make great money. We talked about that. Go down a little bit. We have TikTok in the house. Those screens are from the 90s, LOL. And Simple and Beautiful. Hey, Jay and Jay, hope all is well. Have you heard about stalking case where eBay stalked a lady for reviewing eBay policies, resulting in jail time for some eBay employees? Yeah, that is the case of Ina Steiner and her husband. They have the site e-commerce Bites, and they were talking about, from what I understand, they talk about all the sites. They talk about Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, all the different sites, and reporting news and information. No different than just getting in front of this camera and talking to you guys about things that are going on with online reselling. And I guess it struck a nerve, and instead of being on a employee bulletin dartboard like I am, they took that to the next level, and a few people and higher ups were involved in that, from what I know about the case. So yes, I think that was like 2019 and all that. So it's hopefully a lesson learned that it's not a good idea to do that. The ATL Flipper says, hey, everyone. Well, thank you for being here. Awesome. Check out their channel. We have a travel vlogger says, what's number is good? 10 to 20% eBay promoted listings. I think no more than 10%. Did you do a return to sender on that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, care to share?
Nope.
Okay. We'll talk about it later. So, June says, I want to sell on Poshmark, but do you raise your price to account for the higher shipping or just take the hit?
Yes, I always raise it by anywhere from $2 to $5.
You're going to find out that if you sell on eBay and Poshmark, you are going to get more money on Poshmark. So an item that you have like for $30 on eBay, you could probably get 40, 45 on Poshmark, that kind of thing. I did have an offer that came through, right? I think I didn't address that. Did I have one? I want to get my cha-ching. So I have an offer here. I have it for $80, $80.99. They want to give me 60 for it. It is a good item, but I will accept it because I want to get some things rolling. I'm into it for literally $10. So I'm going to get my cha-ching going. Hopefully hit the like button and get your cha-ching going. There's my cha-ching. Let's see. Biff says, I disclosed that my Nolan Ryan was rejected by PSA. One of the big eBay sports car dealers bought it. Yeah. And they probably thought it was still a good deal. Monster Loon says, I've had mixed results with auctions. Obviously, only hotter items have sold for a reasonable amount. But, again, we're talking about high demand, hot items, items that are popular. Those will sell at a higher premium, I think, if you just sell them on fixed price. Salami says, Jenna, do you think if enough people super chat, can we fast forward John ahead 45 minutes? Sure, let's try that. Dan Cruz says, eBay is nice for exposure, but the fees could be a bit less.
Yeah, we would all like them to be less.
But now let's look at it, though. How much are you paying on Mercari? That's 20%, I believe. I think Poshmark is about the same thing. I think Amazon is close to the same thing. So if you do 13.25% plus the 30-cent fee, no promotion, you're paying less for those fees than if you're selling on other sites. So you throw 3% in the mix, you're still at like 16 to 17%. So yeah, I agree that the fees could be less, but at the same time, I think eBay is seeing that other sites are charging more and they're trying to get their money. It's always about getting their money. I would think I'm in the thought process that if eBay was gaining buyers, if eBay was growing as a business, they probably would never have had to do what they did to us sellers by raising the rates and doing these promoted listing games they play with us. Christine Moses says, the funniest INAD was a red cap work shirt. Item pictures and colors stated as maroon. Buyer left negative feedback because the shirt was not red. Don't make your illiteracy my problem.
True.
Oh, that's funny. Jeff says, I'm in Tallahassee. The last time a hurricane went through a couple years back, a tree fell in my neighbor's house. After the storm, it was quiet and peaceful. Fallen trees blocking many of the roads. Wow. It's horrible.
I'd take an earthquake over that stuff any day.
Yeah. Mike Camparelli has been playing with fixed shipping for some of my items. I take the average calculated between East and West Coast, then bake in the West Coast offset and the selling price. Shipping costs now look good. Yeah. I had one, and this is another thing. If you have a slow-moving item and you think, well, this thing should have sold by now, go and check your listing. I had someone that sent me a message the other night saying, you want $109 to ship this item? What? That's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, there's a problem. Okay. This is the middle of the night. I got up, went outside, checked that, the dimensions of this item, the weight of the item, and checked it against what I had in the listing. I had it as, it was 11-pound item, and I had it as 110. So I fat fingered something, but it's like, yeah, that's not good.
Sometimes it happens. So that's why it's so important for us to check our listings.
Yeah. Rosie says, hi, John and Jenna. I hope you two have a great time away and enjoy. We all appreciate your time every week.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you, Rosie. That's awesome. Unicorn Museum says, I think 1% is pretty low. Depends on what you sell. So, sort Terra Peak results by auction. See if the category is selling antiques, especially as a fit. All kinds of sellers here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I mentioned that might be low. I mean, again, a lot of times we report things from our own perspective, and you're probably right when you say that. But again, it gets the conversation started. But I really think that for most sellers, auctions really aren't the most optimal way to move your item. Rich Colby says, if you had an INAD, you as a seller are 100% at fault. This is why it's so important to make sure all of your descriptions and pictures are the best they can be. Avoid the INADs at all costs. Now, when you say that, you're 100% at fault in eBay's eyes.
That's what I think he's saying.
Yeah, but you could do everything right, and the buyer knows better, but the buyer is faced with an option. Okay, last time I opened a return, I had to pay for a label. Oh, another sale. Well, that's a payment. So guess what? I'm not doing that again to where I'm going to pay for this label. I just simply got to lie about the item, and I'll get a free label. And unfortunately, eBay doesn't even consider, if it's a new buyer, they don't consider that you've been selling for 20 years and your track record. They're going to just think that the buyer is always right. Let's see. PTS says, Roman, it's sometimes the cost of doing business, but I work hard to present my items properly. Shite happens and you move on to the next. Yes. Mm-hmm. And it stings, right? But then you move on. I mean, I had a situation where we had to issue a refund, and I didn't want to deal with having them. They provided photos. Everything was legit. It's possible that the item had problems en route. Let me just say that. The item got broken en route due to mishandling. And of course, I'll file a claim later on that. And they provided enough information for me to see that's what happened. And I just simply said, look, that doesn't do me any good to spend another $15 for a return label. I'll give you your money back, that kind of thing. Doesn't happen too often, but I will do it when it's warranted. See, Sean Pop says, is it a good idea to end an item early as a buy it now when it has several people watching because no one has made an offer after weeks to then go and sell similar item rather than relist? Well, the idea, and I don't know, for those of you guys who use relist over sell similar, the idea was that if you did a relist versus a sell similar, you retain your watchers. But I think that's only the after 30 days, your item's been selling, then eBay renews it another 30 days. I think you retain your watchers there. I don't really know of any real difference now between the relist and sell similar because you get a new item number in both cases. They do both cases come up as a new listing for I think 12 to 24 hours.
And if it hasn't sold, what's the harm in just if you've had those watchers, in my opinion, if you've had those watchers watching for over, let's say, a week, then they're not going to buy it.
They probably already, if they're real buyers, they probably already bought their stuff, right?
Right. So go ahead and sell similar or relist.
And who else could it be? Who else could it be? Probably what? Other sellers.
Other sellers.
They're just looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
So I would, after I think 2 or 3 views from the same person, eBay considers that person a watcher. Yeah. Maybe they're doing research to try to see what you're selling and trying to emulate what you're selling and looking at your listing, that type of thing. And they think that they're a watcher when they're really not. Yeah. John Gaynor says, hi, Jen and John. John, you keep up all this good advice. eBay will make you CEO. Keep up the good work. We all love the channel. Have a great weekend.
I would never give him that job.
Look, I have trouble getting an invite to eBay Open. Okay, let's work on that first before eBay tries to do something like that. When your face is on the bulletin board in the employee break room
with darts,
with little darts, for I guess the employees that take out their frustration, there's no chance that that's ever going to happen. But I appreciate your sentiments. Miss Lachey resells. Buyer checkout problems have been hopping on and off for several months. I had the issue a few months ago. The pay now button was not in the normal place. So I begged the question, which we'll never get an answer to. There is no group of buyers that are getting together doing live streams talking about how they can't buy on eBay anymore, unfortunately. So we'll never know the extent of these problems, but I'm willing to bet it's probably somewhere in the 2 to 10% range as far as the amount of sales we're losing as sellers due to these buyer problems. And that, to me, in my mind, is a very low, very safe projection, because we'll never be able to prove it. But just from a lot of the stories that I've been hearing, it's not just isolated to a few sellers, and it's a lot of buyers out there that are dealing with it. Brian says, how do I add handling fees to my listing? So you go into your business policies, and if you have individual shipping policies set up, you can go in there and there's a place where you can add your, not only your handling time, but how much you want to add for handling fees. Sonny, Las Vegas, we saw him the other night at, I think it was Thursday night. We saw him at the little get together at,
and his hair is still, is just as beautiful in person as it is on his videos.
Yes. But Sonny from everywhere is with us, so thank you for being here. But yeah,
everywhere but Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're at Katie and Vicky's house, and that was a really nice time that we had. Tommy, I didn't think you're going to make it. It says eBay reps cannot see promoted listing rates or campaigns, period. No bullshit says there is a lot of echo in your room. I don't know if we have somebody else that says that.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, let's see. Alejandro Hernandez says, audio okay, no problem.
Okay.
Well, thanks for dropping in, Alejandro. Appreciate you being here. Because I Sent So says, it just sounds like you're in an empty room. Just sounds loud. That could just be me. I'm loud.
Well, anyway. Plus our dogs are
when they bark, it's like
obnoxiously loud when they bark. Maybe we need to put some foam up on the
maybe. And another thing also, you're probably hearing it louder in here because I'm literally down to 9 football cases.
Yeah.
We're going to be sold out by this week. And, before it was like a sound barrier that was up in here, and I don't have that. I'm thinking about putting up a shelf over here for some stuff, maybe supplies, pull the supplies from the garage and that type of thing. Ferret Fan says, thanks again, John and Jenna. Great show. Sorry for not participating in the chat. Been listening the whole time. No, that's okay.
You do your business.
But yeah, you did participate. You just dropped by and said hi. That's awesome. Tommy says, I put my ex-wife up for auction, started at 99 cents. FedEx charged me extra for overweight label.
Ooh. Oh my, if I had access to Tommy's wife.
Wow.
Tommy, you're
lost a ton of money, no more auctions. Wow.
That's Tommy.
Wrong. That's wrong.
I'm telling.
Shopping with Cheryl. I don't even know where Dave & Buster's is, and I'm in Henderson. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I thought it was in that. What's that mall? That open outdoor mall that's near off the 15.
Talk about the one in North Las Vegas?
No. The one in it's. I call it Henderson because that's just. The southeast is where I consider Henderson, even though I know it's not all of Henderson. But there's a mall off the 15 freeway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I told you.
Junior says, hi, John and Jenna. Nice to see you back. Question, baseball and football cases, how has that been working out in sales? Great. I mean, we're almost sold out. I have some baseball cases left. Not the wooden ones. I sold all of those, but the ones that are just acrylic, I think I have those. They're like $5 plus shipping. So I've been selling those as like a lot of 36 for a pretty good price. If anybody's interested, I still have some. Hit me up on that. Let's see.
Almost gone.
Almost gone. Lisa finds vintage and stuff. What is a good program to cross list from eBay to Amazon? I really have an Amazon. I already have an Amazon seller account. There really is none that I know of. Of course,
you don't have experience.
There's drop shipping programs that, I mean, we're not drop shippers here. We don't really go into that, but there's drop shipping programs that do eBay to Amazon and Amazon to eBay. But as far as cross-listing programs, I am unaware that there is anything that supports Amazon. I mean, you have like many different ones that support kind of the same different ones like Marketplace, Mercari, Etsy, Depop, Grail, you name it. What did I miss? Poshmark, but nothing that I know of that does Amazon. Craig says, you too can build as fast as China if you put in fake fire hydrants, firefighting systems that have no water, and building material that crumbles when touched.
Yeah. No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I just remember back when C-19
I love the USA
was happening. They got all these hospitals they're putting together for all the the needs that they didn't have enough infrastructure for it. Shopping with Cheryl says, oh great, now my dogs are barking at your doorbell and giving backups to your little dogs.
I'm so sorry.
Bobbles Bling says, fully sincere, I need to dump my whole store and the death pile crap. Have totally no idea how to make the most. Local options are not the way. Anyone have ideas? I'm entertaining anyone's. That's what I said. I'm entertaining anyone's opinion. Well, I mean, are we? How did this dog get in here?
I don't know what's
it's
happening
like a ghost
today.
He's just waiting for his time to just bark. Hit me up with an email. I'll be glad to look at your store. It could be so much where you just have to lot things out. I think a lot of times it's looking into buying different stuff, and so hard to say. I hate to see that you're going through that. Sunny says, Lisa, when I get back from Texas, I'm going to local friends to flip merch, donate list, and whatnot to clear my space. So, you can go in and do donations. You can go in and do yard sales. I know you don't want to, your idea is you want to make money off the stuff that you have, but it just really depends on what you have. If there's no demand for it, you're kind of just spinning your wheels to try to sell something as much as you like what you're selling. If it's not selling, and you've done all the homework we talk about in this channel to find out, well, is this even selling? And if it is, what is my competition doing to sell these items? If you've done that and you still can't sell it, then it's really kind of time to move on to the next thing if you can.
Summerlin. The Dave & Buster's is in Summerlin.
So downtown
on
Summerlin?
Park Center Drive.
Is that downtown Summerlin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's where because that's an open.
Undercover Treasure Hunter says, good afternoon, FAE Nation. Hope sales are good today for everyone. Multitasking, listening in while working out.
Awesome.
I need to work out, that's for sure. Jerry Johnson says, yes, the like button works. Just received an email with a question to order 2 of my different items, and I will give them a discount on shipping. All right. Thank you, John and Jenna.
Jerry's getting it done today.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. We have Michael Norton says, eBay's been really hot for me since Friday. Just been adding lots of stuff every day. And, isn't that motivating to, you get sales and you just like, okay, the sales are here, the buyers are here, so it's time to get my stuff up, right? And I think it's easier to get fired up to do more listings when you're getting sales. He's got an email from Noah Design saying that he's not crazy. I think that's what he said.
What?
I don't know. It just says, I'm not crazy. Sunny Las Vegas says, totally agree. Where they were growing, they wouldn't need to raise fees. If they were growing, they wouldn't need to raise fees. But they have to show a profit on a quarterly basis. Otherwise, they lose market share and their shares go down in value.
Oh, I see what he's talking about.
Simple Beautiful says, John and Jenna, thanks for keeping real on your channel. Of course, we always try to keep it real.
Okay.
Craig says, if you have items with watchers, viewers, and you lower the price by at least 5%, then don't sell similar because they got to get a notice of the price decrease. All others just do similar and they're ending the day. But the thing is, if you have watchers that really are no longer interested in that item, maybe they fulfilled whatever they're looking for, or it's a seller anyway, even if they get that email showing a 5% decrease in your price, it's really not going to do anything. So I don't know. I think that a watcher that just lingers for a while isn't a serious watcher at some point. Sylvia says, Jenna, I'm happy to be American citizen. I love it here.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of problems in this country, but there's a lot more problems in a lot of other countries that we should be thankful we don't have to do.
Yeah, we watch a show or a like documentary.
Indigo Traveler,
Traveler
is the channel. It's a guy from New Zealand who goes to all these countries that are supposedly like really bad. And, what he sees, it's like, wow, it just kind of makes you feel better about your situation. Yeah.
Even though our country is not in the best of standing right now, it still makes you grateful for where we live.
No One Design says, Jenna, I've sent you a screenshot of the face behind you to prove I'm not seeing things.
You're not crazy. So what he's talking about is...
That's a flag.
No, it's not.
No, that's my
Raiders rings.
That's my Raiders champion rings.
Raiders champion rings that he has in a case.
Yes.
And yes, they do look like...
It looks like a guy in a ski mask.
Well,
that's about to rob somebody.
He called it a face.
Okay. Let's see. I told you. Wow.
Now you can't unsee it.
But I'm just glad you're so focused on the conversation.
I know. I'm telling you, he has eyes for everything.
I know.
He can spot.
I'm just glad you're learning quality eBay stuff on this channel. So I'm glad to help with that.
He's so distracted. Your wife must get so upset with you for squirrel.
Yeah. Let's see. Any kind of pick. Roma says Shalami Shamus said that he will disguise himself as Archie and go to the reseller rally.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Archie won't mind.
I'd like to meet No One Design. I think
I would like to meet all of you.
I'd like to meet all of you guys. I mean, if I don't, I was looking at like some of these other channels. I think like Prison to Profit did a get together kind of thing. And I was like, man, I don't know. I mean, I still have this thing where I'm just a regular person. I don't think of myself as someone that someone would want to meet.
Right. But the way that I view it now is, yeah, we are normal people. We are no more special than anybody else on YouTube.
Right.
Or in the real world, honestly.
100%.
We're just two real people who bicker and banter back and forth and have a business at home.
Yeah.
But the way that I see that, the meetups or whatever, is not only maybe do you want to meet us, we want to meet you more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you support us and you give us the satisfaction of being on here every Monday and Friday. And I couldn't be more appreciative. So for me, I want to go and hug all of you. Maybe not Tommy, but I want to go and give everybody a hug and just personally thank you for everything that you've done for us.
I know one thing. I just wouldn't want to receive a return label from Tommy at this point. I just would. I'd be like, really? Give me an overweight label? Can't believe you said that, Tommy.
I am going to do some digging and figure out.
That is so funny.
How to get
that made the internet for me today.
No One Design said, wait, what conversation?
LOL.
He said, wait, what?
Well, he said that after we were talking about the, I don't know.
No, and you're...
I don't know. It went over my head.
Yeah.
So, but you guys, we're at the end of our comments. So I just want to thank you guys for, like always, being here with us. It's going to suck that we're not going to be able to really do anything until a week and a half.
He said it's my ex-wife.
Oh, ex-wife.
Oh, you're just trying to save your ass
He
now.
just threw X in there. I think his wife walked in the room while he was watching the live. No, we're talking about my ex-wife. So again, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for being a part of the live. Again, for those of you who have channels that want to kind of get yourself out there and want to be a part of the live, we're going to have a special guest on the 8th. That's the first Friday. The next time we're going to do this live. And we're going to, try to, like every 2 weeks, have someone new on the show and, support your channel and just to get you out there and maybe just have a discussion about eBay from a different perspective.
And so, I am so happy because I picked the first one.
Did you?
I did. I'm the one that said.
I don't remember that conversation.
Yes.
But,
you never remember.
But at the same time, this particular person, I have saw. I have watched. I'm like, okay. As soon as we're done, we're gonna fire up the Hooked on Phonics. I promise. But I did take some time to watch some of his content, and it's pretty intriguing stuff. Good conversation. So I think it's going to be a very, very good discussion that we have.
And no, it's not Archie.
It's not Archie. I wouldn't have said any of that stuff. It was Archie. Sorry, Archie.
We love you,
So,
Archie.
yeah, but thank you guys for being here. And you know what? Whether you use auctions or not, that's your business decision. I'm just a firm believer. Unless you're selling something that doesn't have a defined value on eBay, sold comps, you're better off listing it as a fixed price listing, getting more money, and focusing on what your buyers want, and that is they want it now, not in 5 to 7 days. But figuring all this out is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent week. And we will talk to you on the 8th, guys. So
I'm going to miss you guys.
And I'll come out with comment between now and then, too. But as far as live, we'll see you on the 8th. So
we'll
take
see
care,
you on
everyone.
the 8th. Bye, guys. We love you. Mwah.
Take care.